Hey guys, today's video is about VIPKID and the most commonly asked questions. So lately I've heard a lot of interest in VIPKID and there's a lot of questions that come along with that. I have a video that I've made about VIPKID in general and it gives the basics, but this video is going to answer some commonly asked questions that people are asking me. I figured instead of having to answer everyone individually, I think that a video would be more productive for everyone, and then that way when I give the information you can pause and write it down, or you can rewatch the video several times to get the answers that you need, or even better, you can share the video with others and then hopefully that will give you the information that you're looking for. So let's get started. The first question I have is, what subjects do I teach? So that's a great question. When you're teaching VIPKID, they actually prepare the lesson for you, and the whole curriculum is already pre-thought out ahead of time. They have a whole team of people that develop the curriculum. So when I'm presenting a lesson, it might have a little bit of math, a little bit of social studies, maybe some science, some language arts. So it's kind of a general overall curriculum that they are providing for you. There's not really a time that I'm ever going to say, okay, today's a math lesson and we're going to just focus on math. The goal is that these children are learning English. So they're learning English and the vocabulary all around in all aspects of subjects. So it's not really like specific subject-wise. It's kind of like overall, it depends on what our lesson is about and then how they're going to incorporate it throughout. And then sometimes it can vary, like I'm teaching all about ball and throw, and then a lot of the lesson will be about that. But then at the end or towards the middle, there might be a math lesson in there, like 2 balls plus 1 ball equals 3 balls. It really just depends on the goal of their lesson for that time. I don't have to create any of the lessons. They're already prepared for me. It's kind of like in a PowerPoint slideshow, and so I just click through and I make sure that I am, teaching the lesson appropriately. Who gives the teachers feedback? So this is also a great question. Every time you're done a class, the parents are allowed to send you feedback and let you know how the class went and what they thought about that. So sometimes you get feedback and sometimes you don't. It really just depends. The parents don't have to give you feedback, and they actually have a really long time to give you feedback. I want to say maybe even 6 months or maybe forever. They don't really have a time frame. They can give you feedback whenever they want, or they don't have to at all. So sometimes it's a little unnerving where you're like, was everything okay? Did they like my class? And you just never hear from the parent ever. I mean, it's just one of those things. They don't have to do it. It's not required. So sometimes you may hear and sometimes you may not. As far as feedback for us, we give feedback to the students after every class. Well, it's really for the parents as well. But we give feedback after every class. We go over what we've learned, and then we talk about what they could work on. They really love it when you give them homework or something to work on so they can practice until the next lesson. I have a whole little template that I use for feedback, so if you do join as a VIPKID teacher, you can join my group and I will share that information with you on how to write valuable feedback. How long are the classes? So each class is 25 minutes long, and then you have 5 minutes for feedback. So I would say give yourself that 30 full minutes to be able to do a class. So if you're working back-to-back classes, you want to be able to finish the class at 25 minutes, and then you have 5 minutes to write feedback, or maybe run to the bathroom, depending on how long you've been teaching, and then you can move on to the next class. You have up to 12 hours to give feedback. So I tend to, teach all my classes and then write feedback at the end. And I might just take notes in between. That way I don't feel rushed. And if I need to stretch or grab a bottle of water or go to the bathroom, I can do that and not feel like I'm rushing my feedback because I have 12 hours to do it. If you don't finish in 12 hours, though, you will be docked on your class time. They really just want to make sure that they're getting everything done in a time-efficient manner, and I think that's acceptable. Let's see. Is there a child when you do the mock class? So this is sort of if you've already gone through the VIPKID process and you're interviewing, or you've done some research and you heard about the mock class. So in the interview process, they will give you a mock class. They will give you a lesson, and then they want you to record yourself teaching the lesson, or you can sign up to view with another person to teach the lesson. So the answer to this question is no, it's not a child. You will be working with another adult who's pretending to be a child, so then they can give you feedback after and let you know how you've done. Personally, I liked doing the recording so that way I could just talk to myself and then I could submit that and then someone could watch my recording. But it really is all about preference. So if you would prefer to have someone to talk to and then have them talk back to you, you can do it that way as well. But no, there is not a real child in that class. So don't be nervous. You're fine. Is there a fee if I need to cancel a class? So this is a great question. There is a fee depending on why you're canceling class. So if you're just canceling class because, you'd rather go out to dinner with your friends and you don't have a legit excuse, then there will be a fee. What you're going to do is you're going to pay, the $10 that class is costing the parents, and it's going to come out of your pocket. Now, if you had an emergency or you went to the doctor's and you can provide a doctor's note stating that you couldn't come to class, then usually it's a forgiven excuse and you can go ahead and cancel and be worry-free. They do have something called a soft cancellation, meaning that if you cancel up to 2 hours before the class and, you have that legit reason, you won't be charged and it will be forgiven on your contract. So I hope that that's helpful. It's a little more in depth than that, but that's the general answer. If you have a legit reason why you're canceling class, you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about a fee. But if it's really last minute and you don't have something legitimate according to them on why to cancel, then you will be docked that pay. I mean, a lot of people feel different ways about this, but I feel like it is fair. These parents are paying for you to be there, and if you're not there and don't show up, their kid's missing their lesson. So it is understandable, I believe. We are we are contracted out. So it's like if we're taking their time, they're taking ours. It gets wishy-washy, but I think it's fair. Let's see. Is there a minimum amount of classes that you have to teach? The answer is no. I guess back in the day, there used to be a minimum that you had to teach, but not anymore. You can open up as many slots as you want or as little slots as you want, or not at all if you don't want to work on a certain day or week or whatever. So it's really up to you. It is super flexible. Again, we're contracted out, so it's really just up to us if we want to teach or not. If you're ever going to take more than a week, it is recommended that you just kind of like shoot a message over to VIPKID just to let them know that you do plan on coming back. But it's not really required. I would say, though, if you're going to take like a month or something off, that you should let them know. And if you have regular students, it would also be, a responsible thing to maybe let them know, hey, I'm taking a month off to take care of my husband, or I'm going on a trip to Europe and I'll be back, but I'm taking this time off, just so everyone can know that you do plan on coming back and you're not just blowing everybody off. Or if you just decide that this isn't for you anymore, just shoot a little message. I really enjoyed teaching you. I'm going to move on to something else now. And, just a little heads up. Just because they're across the globe, we should still have that good rapport where we can write and talk to them and let them know what's going on. Let's see. I went over that. So how much does it cost to sign up for VIPKID? So there is no fee. This is not an MLM company. This is not like buying a kit or buying a training class and then teaching. There is no cost to sign up for VIPKID. It's literally just like applying for any other job. You are applying, you send in your video, you fill out paperwork, you tell them your background information, and then you go through the hiring process. As long as you have a bachelor's degree and at least 1 year minimum working with children in pretty much any capacity, then you should be fine and good to go. They do a background check as well. So the interview process is a little bit like a week or two, depending on who you are and how fast you upload things. But they want to make sure that they have good, reliable teachers that they're hiring. So it is a process, but it's not a bad process. It's not too long, but there's no sign-up fee or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. And do you always have the same kids? So it depends. Sometimes you can get a new kid every day or every week, or sometimes once a kid starts to like you, they might sign up for your classes 3 times a week or at least once a week, and you'll see them every single week and you're teaching the same kid. It really just depends on, your time slots and whether they have liked you and have grown attached to you. And then you might start getting regulars. I personally love having regulars because I can get excited. I have a good rapport with them. I know what they like, what they don't like. The class seems to be a little bit more fun, and we get to know each other each time that we are together in class. So it's fun. But on this flip side, I also love having new students every week too. So I've been working since May 2019, I was like 8.5 months pregnant when I decided to do this. And then now it is October 2019, and I have at least 7 or 8 regulars. And then every week I'm also getting some new kids too. So I personally right now love the mixture. It's fun to have a new kid, and then it's also fun to have, my regulars that I can't wait to teach every week. And I'll come up with a new reward system for them or a new prompt to bring in, and it's just fun. I love it. Let's see. I think those are my most common asked questions. I will throw in a couple more that people do tend to ask, which is, how much do you get paid? The payment is anywhere between $7 to $9 per hour. I'm sorry, per class. So that's like a rough between like your education and your experience and things like that. I think the typical most people get hired at is around $8 an hour, and then there's room for promotion in the future. There's also room for incentives and bonuses. It just kind of depends on how you're going to take advantage of that. And I will be making another video to talk about incentives and bonuses. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please write them below, and I would be happy to answer your questions. I'm really happy with my choice in signing up for VIPKID, and I hope that if you're interested that you come reach out to me and I can mentor you through the process, and I will help you get the things that you need, or walk you through the hiring process or how to do the mock class. I love it so much, and this is something I'm so passionate about that I can't wait to share it with you as well. So reach out. Again, any comments below, I'd be happy to answer them, and have a great day. Happy teaching!